You can't heal with the same mindset that made you sick in the first place. And this is the lesson I had to learn myself. It was a very tough lesson to learn. I thought it was just a physical thing. I thought, hey, I could just take supplements. I could just eat different foods. I could just go ahead and do the physical aspect of it. I could address the physical aspect of it and I could get over it. But no, that's not reality. I had to change the way I looked at life. I had to change my personality. You know, my mindset had to be completely different to be able to overcome this. I was no longer the victim of these things happening to me. You know, I wasn't just the victim of this illness, the victim of these symptoms. I wasn't always something outside of me that was causing me to feel that way. That was the old storyline, right? That was the old mindset, was there was things outside of me that were causing me to feel this way. And it was because of those things that I was feeling this way. And I was the victim of all these circumstances and woe me and all that. Well, the reality was that was just a BS story that I was feeding into, and it was not helping me to actually heal. It was not going to help me to heal. That mindset was never going to help me to heal. It would just help me become more locked in on the idea that there was something other to blame than myself, that I was not, in fact, in control of my own life, you know, that there was these circumstances that were in control, right? So the reality is I had to change my mindset. And I realized one day, okay, listen, this is not up to everyone else to fix me. It's up to me. It's up to me to switch my mindset. It's up to me to switch my version of this story in my mind around. It's up to me to change my perception of what happened in the past and flip it into something that's positive. If I didn't change my mindset and go ahead and change that trauma, this illness, all these things that happened to me, if I didn't flip it around somehow in my mind and start to look at how I could benefit from it, look at how it was challenging me, look how it was making me a better person, start to become grateful for it. If I didn't flip my mindset around and become grateful for these things that were challenging me, then guess what? I would be stuck in that victim role. I'd be stuck in the scenario where these circumstances were dictating how I felt and dictating my life and dictating the trajectory of my life. But that was BS. The law of attraction states that what you think about, you attract, okay? So if I'm constantly thinking about what's holding me back in life, I'm gonna attract myself to more things that are gonna hold me back in life. If I'm thinking about, if I've come to the realization in my mind that the only thing holding me back in my life is my own perception of my capabilities and my potential and in my fear, you know, my willingness to act on inspiration and not let fear get me. If I really buy into that, then guess what? It becomes true. And then the only thing I have to do is master myself. I master myself. I master my control over my decisions, my behaviors, my mindset. I start buying into my higher power. I start buying into the story that God's guiding me. I start buying into the realization that God's protecting me now because I have a mission that I'm following that's from God. These are the things that I did that were completely game changers, complete game changers. Once I went that direction, there was no turning back. Everything else looked dark compared to it. That was the brightest thing I've ever seen. So switching the mindset around is critical. You can't heal when you're thinking the same thoughts you were thinking that led you to being sick in the first place. You have to become a different person. You got to look at things differently. You got to change your perspective. You got to stop becoming a victim. You got to gain control of this. You got to go ahead and let it turn you in to this higher version of yourself. Let that illness guide you to that spirit inside you. Let that illness become the greatest thing that you ever went through. Let the illness become your greatest gift. That's what happened to me, and I couldn't be any more thankful for it. It's the most difficult thing I ever went through in my life, times 1,000, and it's the greatest thing I ever went through because it challenged me. It made me become a person that I would have never become without it. Thanks for watching, everybody.